man? We
Respect,
doing?
my lord.
Good to see you.
How you feel, man?
Doing all right, maintaining. Actually, I do have something important to tell you after the call, or after. I'm gonna text you later. I got a show right after this, but important announcement, something personal, but it's a good thing. I'm just gonna share it with you personally. But yeah, I'm doing all right, man. Just hanging in there, and I'm excited about the topic, yo. So I really want to jump in this. You doing all right though?
I'm going good, man. I'm doing good. Long day and shit. But
Yeah, I feel you.
yeah, man, it's crazy and shit. From
Yeah,
every angle, man. But yeah, when I spoke to you about this topic, man, I just it just started to get to a point with me, even before the young dude got killed at the Roscoe. It's not too far from where I'm at.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But it just started to bother me. It seemed like some kind of new life insurance or something was being put out on these artists. You know what I'm saying? To go and build up all of this social power, and then you die and live off the heartstrings of fans
Right,
and things of that
right.
nature. This is happening on a regular. You know what I'm saying? When Biggie and Tupac passed, it wasn't like 20 rappers, right after them going down like that. So, somewhere somebody figured out a business. That's why I call it martyr rap. You creating these icons, and then you snatching them, and they living out this Elvis style legacy. We don't even know who these people are. You
Right,
know what I'm saying?
right.
But at the end of the day, they're our nephews, they're our nieces. They are a younger generation than us. So I
Right.
wanted to have a round table on what could we do from our side to kind of give knowledge to avoid that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because part of the reason that they're doing it is because of us. Whatever we didn't succeed in doing, you know what I'm saying, or whatever we didn't bow down to accept, they're taking all of that shit.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This generation don't want to work, man. They want to work from their house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're gonna jump all into it. This is episode, you believe it's episode 21. Constant elevation, brother J and myself, Tamal, and we've had this going on for a while. It's the first Wednesday of each and every month, and it's a conversation. We try to build on some important topics in hip hop culture and some real shit, and some real life stuff in general. And all of our past episodes are on Carrying the Culture YouTube channel, so subscribe to that. And this is a structured build, so please try to keep the if you have a question, try to keep them to what's going on, so it can benefit everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so the conversation right here is, Brother Jay picked this topic, martyr rap. He named it, so he started introducing it a little bit. So I'm gonna let you have the floor, man. Where you want to go with this? I'm really intrigued by this and seeing like what your take is on it, because sometimes I think you're gonna go a certain way with something, and you go fucking loop, B. So
Yeah, man. I really want to put you in a position of being a parent, having the seed that's excited about rap music. All right. We were excited about hip hop when we were young. All right. So, if it was buying the vinyl or going to these dangerous ass parties, you know what I'm saying, risking our life to see who's live on stage. Just, we as consumers at that time, we have to deal with whatever the flavors of the party is. The artist can get on stage and go home, but we still dealing with the risks. So, when they hear all of these stories and whatnot, young heads today think like, where's my risk at? You know what I'm saying? The club is one thing, but, there was a place in hip hop that we didn't, have to go to, at a point, which was to sell our soul. These 360 contracts that are being offered are more like life insurance contracts. It gets you straight in the present, but it makes you a target, in the long run. You know what I'm saying? When you sign those deals, you and your compositions are property. Whoever's kicking out that paper right now. And it seems that, life insurance all the way around the board is the business for people who are trying to find, a quick wealth and a quick flip nowadays. So I wanted you to put yourself in the shoes of a parent, your kid comes up to you and say, yo, man, I want to get involved with this hip hop. And, you know, they offered me a contract that can take care of the house. You know what I'm saying? You know, the child's going to travel globally and things of that nature. What would you do as a parent, you know, when a child gets an opportunity like this? Because, you know, this is like a lottery ticket nowadays. You know, these kids come up with a deal. Somebody's interested in me. They love my talents. You know, these cats are, you know, not even training their voice. They talking over robotic, through robotic devices and whatnot. So, you know, it's not about talent.
Right.
This becomes like another form of population control, man, snatching our youth, you know, absorbing a generation. So I want to know, as a parent, when a child comes to you with an offer like that, now this means the house you in is bought. It means, you know, now you can quit your job and manage your seed, you know, and move around the globe and for whatever it is. And they could be talking about whatever, you know, the lyrical content is not the topic today.
Right.
The opportunity is the topic today. What would you do as a parent when your seed steps up with this kind of opportunity, which sets the family straight in the present, but you knowing that it puts a target on their back because you basically gotta pay with your life to play, you know? So if the image is gold chain, you know, this and this and that to make people believers, because there's things that make it believable in that market nowadays. It's not like you just get up there and be regular Joe Smo with the, you know, with the run ring in the class. It ain't that. You got to wear it like you one of the OGs walking the hood and not tucking their chain. I'm just giving what's been given to me. I didn't make the rules, as stupid as it sounds, but that's what it is. So as a parent, your seed comes to you and says that, gives you this proposition, you know, and things may be tough or maybe a struggle at the time frame. What would your vibration be to your seed, man?
I mean, I think there's a lot of ways you could go with it, man. So one, it depends on what the values are, right? First, it always depends on what the values are. So let's say as a parent, I got to have some values though, right? So if I'm looking at this and I know you just said, we know it's okay for the short term, but it's not the best thing for the long term. Then as a parent, you have to steer, it's your obligation, otherwise don't have kids. It's your obligation to steer that child in the right direction and say, okay, so and if you see they're serious about it, then okay, try to help them get a better deal. Try to look and see if you can get something. But we've talked about this, and it comes up in a lot of our conversations, family, like values.
Right.
You're kind of doing the wrong shit. So I always go back to, well, where's our part to blame? And you're talking about the image, tuck your chain and stuff, not tucking your chain. Some of these kids you can still get your money out here and make your trap and make your whatever and turn up and get litty, and you don't have to die. You don't have to die. It's not a requirement, and I'll stand behind that all day long. Yeah, it's fucked up, and they're gearing us towards, you know, they're pushing an image and they're pushing something on these kids and stuff like that. But you don't have to die. This brother didn't have to die. A lot of these cats don't have to do that, and they can still get their thing. So that's a two-part answer. I think if you're a parent and you got something in your brain and you care about your child and you know that deal's not going to work because you're older and wiser, then. But a lot of times,
most times it can work, my lord.
Hold on, real quick. A lot of times these kids don't have a parent to steer them anywhere. So that's
another thing. That's a
there
great
we go.
point.
Right there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay. Go ahead. All right. So up to your point, where the parenting is not there, where does the guidance begin? It's not going to begin with the entertainment lawyer. It's not going to begin with the A&R, the label, giving a warning, because they're getting paid. And they have learned over the years to mind their business when it comes to things like that, because most of the real authentic music comes from the streets or what they label a ghetto, you know, places that people don't want to venture into, but just want to hear stories about. So I'm saying now, as the younger generation, as our children, and we OGs of ours, saying, what could we say in the face of you're straight now? You know, the car, the house, the fame, all of the pleasures and the amenities that come with that. That window is open for a short amount of time. Contract is in this child's hands, and they're coming to you saying, yo, we straight. You're not going to hit them with, you don't have to die, and so on, because this just happened. One of these artists just passed. I saw an interview with his mother, and she was saying when the contract, he came and said, Ma, I got a contract with such and such. I'm not going to call no names. And she instantly said no. Now, this is a Southern artist, you know what I'm saying? And he feels like, yo, I'm chosen. You know what I'm saying? I got a contract with such and such. These contracts are a dime a dozen, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're not signed, when that window closes, it opens right back up down the street around the corner.
Right.
All right. This is kind of like how kids had to be reminded back in the days, like, you might be nice at the playground, but the NBA is not going to call you one out of a million cats trying to get on a job that has room for like 300 people. You understand me? So what would be the conversation? I think we have to start to develop the conversation to say, let's learn real business.
Right.
All right. And let's weigh what this is, because if it is a life insurance policy, then, you know, certain things have to be put in place, right, you know, as you accepting the situation. Now, if you want to roll around with security, like the dude say on little YouTube, talking about hire Israeli security and all this other stuff for rap music, dog. You know what I'm saying? If it's gotten to that point where you got to hire, you know, presidential and consulate style security, dog, I think it's time to put a pause on the music, period. You know what I'm saying? And not just every time somebody dies, but it's like, where we going? It gets so ratchet and stupid. You know what I'm saying? It gets so like brats begging for attention. You want that much attention that you would just put your life like, yo, I'll go out there and risk my life, you know what I'm saying, and become the target no matter what my parents say. And like you said, most times it's where parents are not even around anymore. You know what I'm saying? You got babies raising babies nowadays. So most likely their parents are sitting around, orange haired, mini skirts, trying to go to the club.
They got the same values. You keep going back to this, even indirectly. It's the values, right? So even if that kid, let's say that kid came to you. So chances are his parent, his mom, or whoever's there is only like 16, 17, you know, 20 years older than them at most. Got the same fucking values. So, which are nothing. I mean, so we're looking at the same shit. So if the child was already like being parented where from the jump, they understood the difference between, oh, you know, long-term success and short-term success, then when that contract came, even the child would step up and be like, Mom, I don't know. But that's got to start from the beginning. The values got to be in place from jump, man, because they're not going to come at 13. Once your kid's 12 or 13, their peer group is their friends anyway. So,
yes,
you know what I'm saying? So it's got to come from, the values got to be there, because otherwise, if the kid didn't value, 30 pairs of Jordans and this and that and this and that and chains and shit, and if that wasn't the primary versus land and generational wealth, then they wouldn't even, they would balk at that. They would laugh at that contract, be like, fuck this contract.
Correct. But desperation doesn't leave room for that.
True.
All right. So there's no values when you're desperate. All right.
Well, no, I disagree with that. I mean, because I think because I've had them and I've been desperate and I've stuck to my guns. I'm sure you have as well.
On an average, I'm just saying on an average, not that it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, more often than not. No, I would agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, because again, we're talking about young heads who have not had time to understand how values versus desperation works.
Yeah, from that point of view, a 17-year-old kid, yeah, I mean, their values are completely
correct. I mean, they haven't had time to be in the battlefield with that to say, yo, man, I stuck to my guns and this is where it left me. They don't have
Right.
enough experience. Now we've learned that by being older men.
Right. Of
And
course.
having to say, well, yeah, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not compromising, you know,
Yeah.
how I deal with folks and, you know, the truth that I spill, whatever. Some people have a set rule of principles around that kind of thing. You can't expect that from 14, 15-year-old getting chosen by somebody they watch on TV living the life.
Yeah.
All right. It's not going to be a value system that's going to say, yo, I can, you know, overriding taking care of moms or taking care of your environment. Look at Young Thug. He was feeding his whole entire entourage. You know what I'm saying? Employment, this, that, and the other. You know, feeding the hoods, whatever he wanted to do, he can live out the whole Bumpy Knuckles fantasy. You feel what I'm saying? What would I have said to a 16-year-old Young Thug like, yo, man, don't take that contract?
Right.
And for him to look at me like an academics or something, well, y'all didn't get the opportunity, you hating.
Right.
No, dog, because this is a suicide situation. They saw how much cats like Tupac and Biggie sold more in their death. You know what I'm saying? Siding the coast, putting them at war with each other, and everybody buying their side to say, oh, man, he was the best ever. He was this and that. Those dudes never got a chance to even reach their peak. But in the long run, that insurance covered his mom's. I'm sure it covered a whole lot of things in their death.
Peace.
God.
So, couple things. It just ended on its own. So, one, that's more incentive to like do this show on some other platform like ours. So, but I'm recording it on another device, so I caught it. So we got that footage. So it may happen again. Just bear with me. We just keep pushing through. But I got the so we can keep moving. So you were saying, so we're live with Brother J X Plan, episode 21, Constant Elevation, and we're talking about martyr rap and just the fucked up cycle of young rappers dying and continue, because you were basically saying you know, we're talking about this, you know, you're desperate, right? You're 16, 17. Here comes this bag of money, and who's going to turn that down?
Yeah, it's more than the bread, because we were getting bread back then up front. You know what I'm saying? You get these business loans that they label budget, but you get a business loan to take your brand to a certain platform. If your brand gets to a certain level, the contracts get more. All right. But now this has become like, look, I own you for 3 years. You know, you get a salary. You know, you get some upfront bread. So you don't have to exist where you're writing this ghetto material from, quote unquote. All right. You don't have to exist around the way sitting with, you know, 50 large, 100 large or whatever. And, you know, and having to battle whatever the hell you're giving to them. They're saying, look, get up in the condo and write stories about where you come from and give it to me. I own you for the next 3-4 years. Now, if something happened to you within that time, now you're in the lab recording every day. You might have went past 4 albums, because you're saying, look, nigga, I don't have to work for the rest of my life. If I impress these niggas, I want to get a contract extension. All right, so you're gonna write more. You remember how Tupac was, dog, when he came out? It was like, damn, every time you turn around, new single, new album, double album, whatever it was. He was trying to get that contract done, like, let me pay my debt. Okay, and what happens at the end of that debt? All right, and not to call it for what it is or not, I don't know their business, but it looks crazy the way things went down. You think the asset would be more protected than what it was. All right, so
it's like running backs in the NFL. You can find another running back. You can find an ass. Especially now. Not to cut you off. Especially now, though, when we're not even talking about music and talent. It's just you're just a commodity. You got to look. You can find 100 niggas with purple hair and tattoos that got to look. So
correct. Any time that we're seen like property, or, you know, some kind of slave coon shit, you got to stop. You know, that's where I'm at. It's not about the deaths. There's risk in this game. There's risk, like I said, there's risk in the game when we was going to the clubs back in the days. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if the party's going to get shot up. I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn, dog. 7 times out of 10, any show happening in my hood is going to get shot up one way or the other, bro.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So I knew what the risk was, and I know how stupid I was to continue to keep going, but I wanted to learn from the root of the craft.
Right.
So now forward to now. Now they're saying, look, I can rub elbows with millionaires. All right. When that lottery ticket hits your door, dog, you taking pictures with Drake, somebody who owns a private plane and owns a team. You know, you're the favorite song of Kanye West, possibly. Because if you're in the market, then you're in the market. I don't hear none of those pop dudes saying, yo, Planet Asia is my favorite, or Medusa or Maestro or some shit. They're not coming to the underground to look. They're waiting for you to get to the tier like, oh, you one of us.
Yeah.
Let me do the remix. Let me do the whatever. All right, so this is becoming like a little boule type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming like a circle on its own. We always looking somewhere else to the beast to offer these things, but we're growing and manufacturing these classes ourselves every day.
Yeah, that's the same story, man. And unfortunately, it's a broken record because we're creating, we're you know, hip hop, rap, whether it's the trap stuff, it's the biggest thing out there. Period. Like, and we're the biggest consumers. And yes, we own none of it. None of it. We, you know, even listen. Again, we're not talking about the craft form. I'd be all for these little niggas to own all their own fucking trappity, mumbly shit. Fuck it, own your shit and go mumble and fucking make your money.
Yeah, but ownership for what? It's
But I'm just saying,
trash.
general,
It's
like,
trash. Without a marketing machine, bro, the music is trash. You're talking about a simple Tinker Toy beat and a robotic voice harmonizing a child lullaby
people going
type of
crazy.
cadence.
They salivating over this. They
Come
going
on, bro.
crazy for it.
Come on, bro. The only thing that's carrying that is the production. I dig this. The producers get paid and get out of the way. The vocalist is the main entity that's getting paid. So look at all the entities around the situation that have to stand innocent. The entertainment lawyer, the producer, the brand. All of these people are watching while the target goes out with a chain around their neck as property to go and get that. Now some go and come back. Now you look at the success of the Baby and Lil Baby and all these other dudes. Those dudes are the blueprint of this is what can happen to you if you make it, because somebody got to get through to make it a goal, bro.
Right. Right.
All right. Now when you start to separate this music now for what it claimed to be, because when it was first coming out, they say, yo, we live in the culture too. That was the whole thing. Yeah, we just expressing it differently. So why is it so separate now? Why is it a thing where you got a trap museum and not an all around hip hop museum happening? How did it get so deep? What is being said so popular out, you know, that makes you Hall of Fame with that? I don't see any content in that world that's deemed worthy of some Hall of Fame situation, unless you're just looking at sales and global influence. That's it. You're saying to them, look, I can come from the ghetto and get up to a point. My story is a Hall of Fame situation. You were given permission to get to a place. You put your life for sacrifice to get in that position. That's not worthy of no Hall of Fame status in what we do. That's crazy as hell. And my thing is, where's the line be drawn at? Where's the line to be drawn? We getting offended by academics saying that cats are dusty and all this kind of shit. Some of these niggas in rap are, bro. Some of these niggas gave up a long time ago. The very reason that this whole scenario got snuck through the back doors because we were off point. All right, we so busy trying to battle them to say, how dare you, nigga? You ain't half as nice as me. That song sounds like R&B rap crap up against the bars and the whatever the hell you think hip hop is about. That's not the battle that we're talking about, dog. Nah. It's always been about breaking slavery. All right, even when Prince was alive, God bless, and was trying to teach cats about true independence. All right, it's not about just yo, I put my songs up on the Apple. I'm independent. All right. And for everybody that does that, how is that working for you, man? Real talk. All right. Without the permission, the marketing, a plan, and some paper, dog, you joking. You're joking. That's like, yo, that's like saying, yo, man, I want to be a ball player, or I want my son to be a ball player. Just because I take him to the park every day, we feel in our heads that, yo, you're going to be like Jordan one day. Yo, dog, 1 in 50 million make it from that place. And like I say, desperation. And now it's a place where parents are selling their children. Most of that R. Kelly situation was, oh, old girl's in the studio and we got a check on the table. So I don't have to go to the lab and chase. But then when you notice she's gone for a month and a half, 2 months, going around the world and she ain't got no real talent, she don't even sing, but you just sold your child to a situation. And you only got mad because the check stopped. Okay? So our generation is part of the bullshit.
Of course.
All right? So I come here, you know, I didn't want to start this conversation to bring up the obvious. I want to start figuring out what is the solution. What areas of education can we provide young heads to say, this is what a real contract looks like. This is what making a deal for yourself, because regardless if you're independent or not, you still need marketing. All right. Marketing is controlled by the entity that is creating these kind of scenarios, this modern rap situation. Right. All right. So where we got to get permission to be popular, the gatekeeper has horns. All right. And this is the reason that I did the Red Pill concert a while ago, because in order to get something going on outside of the permission, it has to be empowered by the people. Right. The only reason that an Instagram is here is because the people decided this is the format that is easiest for me and convenient and free and so on. It's an agreeable thing. Right. So now, brand-wise, we have to say what's going to be as attractive as what's been created. Because, look, bro, this whole shit is about to shift. If Future just sold that robotic R&B that he sings, and I like his talent. I like the production around his shit. I'm not dissing him. But if he just sold that for $75 million, that's a whole different stake on the stick when it comes to these cats out here. And I'm saying to the machines that are offering these kind of deals, that's now a floodgate to say, let's get 500 songs right now. Let's scour every hood in America and find the next whatever it is. Let's find 2 Futures, a Trina, a this or that. Let's find all of that and just build our catalog. The artist is nothing but the pawn. Okay? There's nothing but the pawn in this. I don't care what kind of superstar you become. The machine that made you and first gave you that bread is the culprit in this situation. All right? They're the ones saying, yo, we need to get 700 songs that have at least 200,000 streams on each one in order to qualify for a $15 million deal. All right, that has nothing to do with the artist. Now, in that 15 mil or whatever it is, you're allowed now to pay the champions of your brand to stay up. So if I got a Rick Ross, a Future, this or that, if I got the next ones of that, I'm taking a piece of that shit to say, here's a meal ticket. Sit still. All right? So now when you put that bread on one of these, you know, desperate, I just came from the hood, I've been writing all my life, this and this and that, and they finally got that situation, that whole scenario changes because you pulling them out of the dog pit. They're seeing the pit bull get pulled out of the dog pit. Dogs is barking, trying to grab your legs. The crab effect is going on now. They try to pull you down in the pot. You're an instant target, dog. No matter if it's at the Roscoe's or on the Ave here in California like Biggie and them. You know what I'm saying? You're a target everywhere you go. Every time you go on with your girl and eat food, somebody who's saying, yo, man, I'm better than him. And how they chose him over me. We are good for that. All right? Because prime place where they picking this talent is black neighborhoods, because we have that pocket and that soul and that funk. We've spoken about this on our show 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they have been trying to copy, that algorithm, for days. Now, when you layer the playing field like that, I don't hear any of these white rappers getting smoked in Orange County or, you know, or the Hamptons or some shit, because now, you know, they can buy into the game. They don't have to wait for somebody to give them a 360 deal. If I'm a young trust baby with tattoos on my face and I don't want to do shit, I'll pay my ride. I'll pay for the top producers to do whatever. Because that's basically what the game is saying right now. If you got the bread, you don't have to go through any of that, kiss the ring, and, you know, and be blowing head in the office and all this other shit. You know, people have many ways to get to this place of success. Okay, this is ghetto rich conversation that we're talking about. This is not any kind of real wealth. Okay, when you're talking real wealth, you're looking at somebody like the success of a Drake. You know, when you buying into teams and planes and stuff like that, that's a very complex climb. That wasn't just like, yo, I'm a light-skinned nigga from back in the days in TV, and you know what I'm saying? I'll be sure 2000, as I say about his situation, because that's what it is. That's that chemistry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whoever invested in that was their thing. Like, what if I'll be sure rapped? You know what I'm saying? What if he was singing to the shorties in the way and breaking these syllables down in the way, and then you craft a sound around him? All right? Again, production, getting paid, entertainment lawyers getting paid. All of these people are now sitting around this artist that's the target. No one's going to say, stop doing that, you're going to die.
No.
All right? But it makes hip-hop look bad. I don't give a fuck if they separated it and created this separate thing for trap and drill and all this other thing. It's still niggas rapping. All right? It's still niggas rapping. So we have to be concerned, because when it comes to the rap music category, they're looking at all of us.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't looking at just Kodak Black and whoever else may be. Anybody who claims a microphone, they're looking at all of us like this. And it has to be a point where we have something to offer outside of that. If it's real business, or the people trying to really figure out what are the champions that really represent the craft, and let's get behind them. Pure people power. So we were all to choose like, yo, Black Thought is a great representative. You know, Q-Tip, I don't care who it is. Somebody from our era that's a great spokesman of music that we know that if we put our power behind them, they're going to deliver the sound that shows a different option. You know, deliver the business to where it's like, don't accept a 360 deal. That's like whole shit. All right? That's like you saying, I want to walk the stroll for you, brand A. All right? We have to steer them from prostitution of talent. All right? By saying this is a structured contract, and no, you're not getting 100%, because you got to pay for marketing, artwork, things of this level. Teach people how the budget goes. Right. Especially if you're coming from the street perspective. You're not thinking about nobody on the staff of what it is. You're just thinking about your rhyme and your beat, and you getting out there and you trying to maximize as much as you can out of your percentage. Right. All right. You're not really thinking about the mechanics of real business and saying, I got to give a little to get back. I think that's a missing equation. So if you just feel like, yo, I want to skip all that, I don't have the bread like a trust baby that I can just pay for my own and buy my lab and set up shop. So your life is not the option after that. You got to really feel that if you're talented, you got to get partners who believe in what you're doing. You got to become the investment. Because if you're not good enough to get somebody to say, yo, man, let me put some chips on there, let me be a partner in what you're doing, then maybe you should rethink what the fuck you're doing, man.
Right. But let me ask you a question, though. Like, a lot of it still, so let's say there's some establishment set up or whatever. We have some type of structure, something to help these younger artists. Rap, whatever. Just, hey, here's how it rolls. Like, here's some of the how you dodge some of these hurdles, right? Just some consultation or whatever on a big scale. if like no, unfortunately, people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and so like if you dangle the carrot, because how many times? I mean, I can think of numerous times in my life where I've known that something was bad for me and still did the shit anyway. So, and I try to be intelligent about shit, but like, so I'm saying, if you still dangle the carrot, it's almost like if they still want that, if I still want to be the shit, the flossiest cat and the whatever, if I still want that, like, want to be that dude, and here comes this opportunity to be that dude for however long, short a time it is. What options are presented before me? I'm gonna go that way. I'm going that way. So I feel like we got to like. This is so deep rooted, man. Every time we talk, we got to peel away the onion, right? There's like more and more, and so to me, it's like I'm looking as you're talking. I'm like, yo, we got to go back to like. We talked about hating this shit. There's like so much. There's so much hating in our shit. There's like so much shit to really to dive into with all of this, man. As far as like reasons, so it's like almost it's like untangling a ball of yarn or something. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
bro. It is complex. I think what's missing is artist development. I think that the schools that teach the instruments, teach the equipment, walking the artists through the stages. I think that's missing because all the stuff that we're talking about is skipping those classes.
Yeah.
All right. Motherfuckers who are in the streets right now, a greater percentage, because it's always my argument that powerful intelligence is in the streets. I think it's misjudged, to be like everybody's thinking on a Neanderthal level. All right. So, to the power minds, if you set up a situation to say, these are the steps in order to learn how to be a musician and an artist, learning how to compose, learning how to write your publishing, correctly, and learning how to train your vocals to where you're a real artist. You know what I'm saying? I doubt the way that the artistry is going nowadays that we'll ever see like a Whitney Houston, a real natural talent. You know what I'm saying? Or Gladys Knight or Tina Turner or stuff like this. And I say this because R&B has now blended and fused with hip hop to where it's just like one now. Like if you come out with a record right now that's not having some kind of singy hook or something like that, you basically shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
I knew when R&B and hip hop first came together that it was a mistake, bro. I thought it was, I thought it was like, all you niggas go over here and less, because they were giving rappers, R&B budgets to do shit that it didn't require. Shit, the budgets that we would get, and bro, we could do 3 albums with that kind of money. So, when the labels figured out like, yo, man, we wasting all these business loans on them. Let's make them shuck and jive a little harder, dog. Let's make all the niggas get along so we don't have to pay a rapper to come on Bobby Brown's verse. Let them all be one group and let them rap and sing. And we kept flowing with it because, look, when you get to a certain part of your flows, it comes to a part where you start singing, all right? Your vocal signature starts being known. Look what happened to Pharoah Monch. A nigga so nice, he started singing, and niggas was like, yo, that shit is hot. The shit he did with Styles P and all of that, I thought that shit was hot as fuck.
Oh, my life shit, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought that shit was hot. Now, when you get to look at CeeLo, a nigga so nice, it gets to a point where it's like, yo, I'm rapping and I'm out of league. Y'all niggas can't touch where I'm going. I'm going up into the molecules. The song comes out. So these people in the machine see that, like, yo, let's cut this revelation time that you got to go through and just start it off from the gate. Y'all niggas got to be singing and rapping at the same time in order to get these deals. So the niggas who don't have no talent say, well, damn, how can I fix that? And then the engineers of old say, well, look, this person couldn't sing back in the days, and look where they went. All right? How many groups we know that without that studio, bro, it's a total disaster? They just learned that with Ray J and when it was on stage, dog. It's like, yo, without all the equipment and everything, and y'all dudes going head up, half of you cats can't sing, but yet you platinum, and yet you all of this. And cats think you Teddy Pendergrass and all kind of shit, dog, and you can't sing for shit.
At all.
at all, dog. You know, my thing is, I think that the structure of artist development has to return to say, go through these stages and meet me here. And you now as an investment will be easier to get a situation rather than skipping those stages and selling yourself. All right? So as a young child, it's like, you know, walk these doors, go work at the Wendy's, then go from Wendy's to work at a corporate spot, then go to this spot and go to this and get some experience instead of saying, yo, I don't want to work. I'd rather walk the Ave and show my ass and see if somebody wants to purchase for a couple of hours and stack up quick that way. This is the same equivalent to me. Okay? So I feel that artist development coming back, and I think some of the older artists whose time has passed, because some of these cats are still battling to say, yo, I'm better than the game. I'm better than the game. I can come out now and spark the whole world and shit. Yo, man, ain't no record gonna save the world. This bizarro shit that's going on right now.
No.
You would rather get with 3 other producers and say, let's build our own academy. Let parents be able to trust us in the lab to say, come with your child and let's go through piano lessons. Let's go through guitar lessons. Let's fill out where the algorithm is. You got to put money up, bro.
Right.
It ain't going to be no free ride, like free lessons at the thing. Look, man, most of the artists that are successful had to pay to play.
Yeah.
Ain't no budgets, but they think it's not, bro. They think everything is free. It's like, yo, dog, I'm comfortable just throwing on the YouTube and letting them send me a couple of dollars per month. You giving the blueprint away for someone else to claim your shit. Somebody with paper can claim your song and run with it. Your publishing's not protected. You're not learning the aspects of the business to protect you while you play this. And I think that ignorance is kind of like, yo, skip all of that. What's the easiest way out? Well, come in this office, sign this paper, and get on your knees, and I can make it real easy for you. This is how that happens.
Right.
All right?
Nobody really needs talent anymore, man. It's about a look. It's about whatever. Like, you going viral because you did something. And, you know, a lot of these cats weren't even, some of these people that are rapping were like, did some stupid challenge or whatever, and they became famous from that. And then they started rapping because, yeah, it's about, so that's the problem. I mean, the whole thing is it hasn't been about the artistry in a long time, man.
And it has to change. That's the only way that we can get. But this is now, you got a million brats who think they can sing and dance, and you gotta tell them, no, you can't.
Yeah.
All right. And this is an era where I'll do what I want. This is an era of feelings. I feel that I'm a singer no matter what you want. You know, this is an era of denial, dog. All right? Where cats will override what you say. Well, I got 4,000 people on my page that say whatever. Man, you know, none of them purchased anything from you. Okay? It cost me nothing to throw a thumbs up to say, yeah, here, take that. It costs me nothing to do that. When you got to get them to buy something, the reality is going to smack you, dog. All right? There's too many artists in the game for all of the consumers to be able to purchase a song or an album from each one of those. All right? So that place is real small where the really talented and the really successful artists, you know, get through to really be seen on a high platform. All right? Cats, you're not going to be able to sing a song at church and everybody clap and then all of a sudden you're Beyonce tomorrow. All right? That climb was different. Her sacrifices and talent shows and all of the things. You look at all that old footage and whatnot. All right? You can only protect them but so far. When you start to get that permission where you out on that super platform, that's a different complex. And you would want young people to kind of train themselves to understand, like, if these opportunities come to you, be able to adjust. You know how many times I've been offered a 360 deal? You know, and it may be at times where it's like, yo, I'm tired of touring. I'm tired of just taking my tour, survival, stack up. Survival, stack up. You know what I'm saying? And you got to wait till it gets to a point to do, okay, we got enough stack to do a film. Somebody says, hey, here's a 360 deal. You can go Do your film, do whatever. Just give me everything from now for the next 2 years. And you sit there and scratch your head for 1 second, and then, like you said, the value kicks in. I'm not to be bought. I'm not going to be laying on my face at any point in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to let the game pay for itself. You can't be taking off your table to pay for the game. All right? You can't do that. Because when you fail, you could be homeless. You know what I'm saying? You could be, totally shut down financially, paying for this delusion in your head that you are the best. You're a star in your head, dog. Okay? And you can really be ass out. You're such a victim. This is not just for young heads. This is for older heads. You know how many ghost riders live on these deals that we're talking about right now, dog? You know what I'm saying? Ghost riders sitting lovely, and you come there like, damn, nigga, how you get this studio like this and such and such and such? And you got to look at the stain on his lips. Yeah, 60, 70% of the time it stains on those lips. And there's a deal going down outside of your knowledge. And the stain on the lips comes from these kind of deals like, yo, none of y'all was buying studio time, so these niggas offered me 2 years, sit lovely, and I don't have to fuck with none of y'all. Because when they keep it a secret, they don't have to pay the homies. You don't have to, buy food and shit for the homies. You don't have to entertain. You can put that money around you and your girl or whatever you got going on and live really comfortable as a secret squirrel. That was part of the success of these deals, bro. Because I couldn't figure it out. I was like, damn, that nigga with a lab and this and that and shit is popping, but I ain't heard shit. How does that work?
Right.
How you successful, dog? And I ain't never heard a song in the life. I've seen cats pop up on the scene, dog, and I don't believe music video. You can rent a car. You can rent fake money, as far as putting it together for props and all this other thing. I don't get into that. My thing was, how y'all jumping off at 30,000 a show that quick? How much rotation did you get that quick? And you didn't pay for rotation. Yo, man, radio rotation is expensive, dog.
Right.
That's not like, yo, I throw a couple hundred out like you pay Instagram to expand your algorithm or some shit. It's not built like that. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars for a real radio campaign. Okay? I don't know how they're doing it now with all the digital thing or whatever, because it's not like a brick and mortar radio station. That you walking up to, or, that's saying, yeah, we do marketing. And if you pay attention, you get this amount of airplay or whatever case may be. I couldn't figure it out. But then I said, yo, man, you know what? A lot of the producers, the writers of these songs, because most times artists are coming with lyrics and not coming good with hooks.
Right.
All right. So the producer is putting it together like, look, at the end of the day, when this song is popular, they'll be singing the hook. All right. If we sang the Migos right now, we're going to sing the hook. We're going to do stir fry. We're not getting into the meat of the lyric and saying whoop, 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 unless you're a real diehard fan. So the beat and the hook is what's happening. So the production crew, again, the brand and the producer are the catalysts of this situation to say, yo, man, we need to get we need a Future, we need a this, we need a Lauryn Hill, we need a whatever the brand and the flavor is. It has to stop there.
Right.
All right? It has to be like, yo, dudes, these dudes are taking it too serious.
Yeah.
Okay? They taking it way too serious. When that whole spree of rappers, I think it was probably about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe top of the year, it was like a whole week of just rappers dying. And the media poised it like it was, yo, this is a death trap for you to go. Now, this is supposed to make the talented be scared. Okay? Because you're naming people that we don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
You're naming people that were part of a catalog. All right? That somebody had a quota to get 500 songs and these people were hired. Okay? It's not like a LL Cool J, somebody that we watched grow up in music. And oh shit, something happened, God forbid. Okay? This is somebody, Oak Dog, from down the way and shit. And he wrote a hook that happened to blow up. before he went to jail or some other shit. We always gotta live out somebody else's realities and shit like we really give a fuck.
Right.
Okay? You put Pop Smoke. The reason I liked him, God bless. I like that fact that he sounded like 50 Cent with new production. But why all of a sudden do we give a fuck about his whole clique? I don't know these people. Y'all are part of a catalog building, and one of y'all stood out. Why is it now that we following niggas? Oh, this is what's happening with his court case, and his girl is, you know what I'm saying? It becomes a reality show that we didn't ask for, dog.
Yeah, we love,
and
but
money in that.
And that speaks to a bigger, to the bigger, this the fucked up nature of this everything going on. We could be all night with that. I mean, we like, come on, like that's we values. Again,
Correct.
We
there are
want
none.
it. Right, there are none. And so, and there's going to be people out there that are like, yeah, give me that shit. Because as soon as it switches up, the machine will give us what we want, like too. And so we gotta at some point again say no more of your bullshit. But we want it though. We want it,
bro. For some reason, we savages for it as consumers.
Yeah.
Because the only reason they would invest time. Look, man, there has to be some kind of boycott, bro. This is what we get into in a nutshell. I'm just pointing out the areas of how these deals are more complex than they look. It's not like they just ran to the hood and say, "Who wants a record deal?" And everybody raised their hand and you pick one. No, man, this is like slave trade. Black people were involved in slave trading, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So the same thing is happening here. All right, this is the thing. Well, yo, that nigga down the way, he's one of the best songwriters. I know about 5 niggas. Yo, man, if you pay me, I'll A&R you and find you niggas all motherfucking day who'll take these goddamn shit. That shit happens every minute. Fuck every day, every minute. Okay? These suits ain't coming down to your hood to having no talent shows, dog. They hiring 1 million clerics to go out here in the name of the brand and go ahead and get those cats. And when those niggas die, it's like, the manager dude saying like this, like, yo, man, them niggas was knucklehead from the gate. You ain't know where they came from. They know what the shit was. You know what the fuck added money, gas to flame is gonna do, dog. You giving a motherfucker who's out here in these streets several bands, even if he's paid, you adding to his hustle, dog. You know what's gonna happen.
Of course.
Okay? You know what's gonna happen with a King Von, God bless. You just gave that nigga an opportunity not only to be popular, okay, outside of his square, but you give him money to increase his hustle where he can come and say, yo, this is free money as far as I'm concerned. Y'all can stop eating out of my pockets. Take this shit from the record label, man. They just cashed me out in a strange fucking way. Here, take this. And you look like, oh, you so dope. You giving us money and shit, nigga. You love us. No, nigga, I got to pay for this protection. Because now I am a super target. Outside of your own ignorance, and you stepping into these nightclubs, snatching 10, 15 racks every time you go in the door, whatever the case may be, you still ratchet in the mind. You're not developed. So you hype. So first thing, to show off your shit like, yo, let me world star nigga in front of the club and show niggas I'm hard, nigga. You feeling yourself. And that nigga's like, bow, bow, bow.
There it is.
Over. Now what happens to the material? What happens to the 3 albums that he got done? Okay? What happens to that material now? And who comes off with that? Whoever gets that paper is part of the problem, bro. And you can't hate on people because when they look at our generation, niggas who don't rap is trying to live off life insurance.
Right.
Okay? Right. Niggas will tell them now, every 5 minutes you flick your thumb on the internet. You should get life insurance and you can take money off and do such and such and such. So a young nigga will say, yo, there's a different kind of life insurance coming down my shit. It allows me to floss, smoke out, do whatever the fuck I want to do, dog. And if I survive, I can be like Drake. Ugh. I can be like Future, 70 million now. That's a goal. Nicki Minaj is a goal, dog. Hating on her ain't gonna do shit. Cardi B is a goal. I can strip. Your girl Cardi B. I can strip and be ratchet as fuck.
And win.
And end up at the day and win.
And win heavy.
And win. Big time. You can't even say shit to her. They
Nope.
comparing her sales to Aretha Franklin and all kinds of
God,
shit.
stop.
How you even say the name in the same context, bro?
Yo, all right, man. We do have
Come
to
on,
get ready
bro.
to I got another show. Shit. On that note, but yo, all facts. This has been episode 21 of Constant Elevation. We're gonna get this up on our YouTube channel. We do this the first Wednesday of every month, and appreciate you, man. It was really really good to hear that stuff. We're gonna get some good footage out of this to share because this is important stuff that people need to hear, man. So I'm glad you was flowing just now, man. For the out, you was in the zone. I appreciate it. So
It's just the truth that's put in front of us, God body, and I'm glad we can sit and have a convo. I
of
want to
course,
spark. I'll thank everybody for coming on and building with us,
absolutely.
but I want them to start thinking of solutions, artist development, taking these cats and adopting them, teaching them the right way, and even us relearning the game. It's a digital game now. Relearn it and see ways to avoid those 360 contracts and being owned. It's not worth it, man.
Facts. Jules from Brother J. This has been episode 21 of Constant Elevation. Rock with us next month. We do it again first Wednesday of every month. I appreciate you as always, family. Respect, love, everything. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you and your people. I'm saying it's always
Love,
a
family. Give my
rock with you.
regards to the family, man.
Definitely. Salute to everybody joining. We go live with our people saving hip hop culture in 30 seconds. Salute, fam.
Salute, family.
Be good.
Bless.